Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Raul Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerdy Chicano. Either way, how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back for another installment in Between the Frames as we conclude our journey through the Godfather Trilogy on 4K. This wonderful set right here, my friends. We are looking at today the Godfather Coda, the Death of Michael Corleone, which is the new cut of Godfather Part 3 that was released in 2019 from Paramount. And this is described to be the definitive cut of the Godfather Part 3. It is the true vision that Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo had for this film. And today we are going to be talking about it along with its restoration, along with its transfer to 4K. And of course, I want to thank you all so much for being along, joining this this journey as we've been looking at this set. I've been enjoying talking about it with you, and I hope you've been enjoying listening to me talk about it. Of course, you can always let me know in the comments what you think about this set. What do you think about the 4K transfers and all that wonderful stuff. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with all the things that we're doing on here, and you don't miss a single piece of content by clicking that notification bell. And you leave a like on this video and you tell all your friends about it, because we're all here to celebrate the love of physical media. And of course, y'all, this is the last one, so at the end of this video I will let you know what's the next films that we are going to be looking at. And there's a hint, not any of these that are in the back of me. I'll tell you that right now. This time I'm not putting the hint right there for you. It's actually a different set that you guys haven't seen on that wall. Well, maybe it actually has. Well, either way, let's go ahead and get into the Godfather Coda, the Death of Michael Corleone. We're going to my handy dandy Blu-ray.com here, and we're gonna read some specifications now. So this is codec is HEVC H.265 in 57.38 megabits per second. Its resolution is native 4K in 2160p. Its HDR is Dolby Vision HDR10. Its original aspect ratio and the aspect ratio that it is being presented in is 1 to 85 to 1. We have a couple of audio tracks. I'm not going to read all of them because it's pretty much the same thing as before. Most of these are all just 640 kilobits per second Dolby Digital 5.1. But most importantly, the one that I watched was in English Dolby True HD 5.1, 48 kilohertz and 24-bit. You have a Czech Dolby Digital 5.1, and then the other ones that are 640 5.1 Dolby Digital are German, Spanish. Wow, that's two. Oh, Spanish, Latin American, and Spanish. Spain Spanish. You also have French, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, and the Russian is Dolby Digital 5.1 as well. There's a lot of them in here, y'all. And of course, noted here is that the Portuguese is Brazilian Portuguese. We have subtitles for most of those languages as well, also including Mandarin traditional, Mandarin simplified, Korean, Dutch, Finnish, Danish, Norwegian, Polish, Romanian, Russian, Slovak, Swedish, and Thai. This is of course a full 4K Ultra HD disc, and it is region free, as the other ones have been as well. Now, let's get into the movie. I've seen Godfather Part 3 once before. I watched it with my friends. I think it was Michelle. I can't remember. I didn't watch it with Luis. Actually watched this with Luis when we were sitting down and watching this film. But I watched it before once. I didn't really like it all that much. I thought it was good. It wasn't amazing. But, when I heard that the definitive cut was coming out, the version that Francis Ford Coppola wanted to make, and he re-edited it, and it was the film that him and Mario Puzo wrote, I was like, okay, I'm going to check this out. I even watched the introduction, and he kind of talks about how this is really his vision. This changes the beginning and the ending. It, helps improve a bit of Sofia Coppola's performance, and it's just the right version that he wanted. And this was of course released in Blu-ray in 2019, and this is now the 4K. I like this movie still. I think it's way better than the original, don't get me wrong. The ending is far better in this one. I like the ending way more. I think that it works better that we kind of get the metaphorical death of Michael Corleone, not the literal death. I think that the stuff that was cut out and it was left helps it, but things like Sofia Coppola's performance is still not good. I don't like it. There's still moments in this film where I gravitate and I feel that are like such strong emotional instances of this film, like the confession scene with the Pope. I love that scene a lot. The scene where Michael's son sings for Michael and he remembers Apollina and all that. Just this whole film is pretty much reflective of Michael's life before he crossed that point of no return. I think the film works for what it's doing, but it's just really held back by just some odd direction and some odd pacing, and if you watch this film as what it is intended to be, an epilogue, you're gonna enjoy it, but it just doesn't hold up to the standard that is its last two films. And I mean, I like it, but it's not that great, and it's not the amazing film that it can be, but it's good, and that's okay for me. Now, let's talk about the restoration, the transfer. The 4K disc, I never saw the Blu-ray version, so this is my first time seeing this, so I'm just going to be comparing the part 3 that I watched on the old Blu-rays that were from the Coppola restoration from before. I've got to say that this looks fantastic. I mean, look, it doesn't matter if I like it or not, the film looks great. It looks well made, the colors look fantastic, they pop when they need to. There are scenes like the confession scenes where all that foliage just looks so beautifully crisp, and just the way that the colors are popping and the contrasts are still really, really, really well made just shows how great the 4K format suited these 3 films. And you can tell also with like the way that the lighting is shown, and you still have that feeling of those last 2, but preserving what, you know, made this film special for people who found it special. Obviously not me, but whatever. The film maintains its grain, it still looks fantastic, and they're able to give you a meaningful conclusion to this set while showing you that extensive work can still be done to preserve, but sometimes what you get is just as good. And I think that they show that with the video aspect, because if you saw the Blu-ray, you already saw that they had done some restorative work, and here it's just amped up to 2160p, and it just looks fantastic. Audio track is, I'm pretty much going to say that it's the same thing that I felt with the last one. The Godfather Part 2 and this one are the same thing. They did a great job at being able to maintain that original feeling of the audio track while cleaning up like stuff like, you know, hissing and just what made it feel like a movie that was made in 1990 with the technology we had before. This sounds still great. I love the surround sound. I love the way that the music from Nino Rota sounds, and also just all those other supplemental music that is not composed by Nino Rota. I think that the audio sounds great. Dialogue doesn't sound too low, doesn't sound too high. It still sounds like the great movie that it is, the great audio track that it once had. So there's no complaints, nothing amazing like an Atmos track or a Dolby X track. It's a true HD 5.1. It still sounds great on your surround sound system, and it's satisfying. Not everything needs to be amazing, it just has to be good. And this is one that is more than good, and it's worth buying. If you're looking to get this set, please get this. Wait for Black Friday. You're definitely going to want to pick this up and put this on your Black Friday deals. But in the meantime, y'all, this set has been great. I've been enjoying talking about it, and I'm glad that I'm able to own a better version, quality-wise, of some of my favorite films of all time. With that said, we're going to move along because we're going to say goodbye to this set as we look at our next set on Between the Frames, Krzysztof Kieślowski's Decalogue from the Criterion Collection. Here we have all 10 episodes of the Decalogue, plus the 2 films, a short film about love and a short film about killing, all presented in a 4K digital restoration, digital transfers of all 12 films. So with uncompressed mononeural soundtracks. So y'all, this is our next set, and I'm very excited to get on with another Criterion set, and we'll see how that goes, y'all. I'm really excited. I love the films of Krzysztof Kieslowski. I've only ever seen a short film about love. But of course, to keep up to date with all the things that I do on social media, make sure you follow me on The Nerdy Chicano everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Serialized, Twitch. Make sure you also keep up to date with all the things that I'm doing on the Nerdcore by going to thenerdcore.com and listening to our podcast wherever podcasts can be found. If you want early access to this video, along with other videos that are coming to the channel, like the videos that are coming for Between the Frames of the Decalogue, make sure you go to patreon.com/nerdychicano and pledge to a tier on there. It's not a necessity, but I always do appreciate anybody who can help me. And with that said, I will see you all on the next one as we look at the Decalogue 1. And to my renowned cinephiles and scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. I'll catch you all on the next one, guys.